A strange sighting is baffling. This creature was caught on camera at a Northside neighborhood.
Several ATV riders say they've seen unusual-looking creatures in the distance.
And then Dad looked up at the, up there at the tree, and he's like, "Oh, I see something."
That is, the arms and the legs are not spindly. They appear to be thick and muscular.
The darkness of the woods hides a lot more than just wild animals, that which we can only speculate until we see. Get ready to witness some of the most sudden and surprising encounters that no one saw coming. Two friends in the deserted area of Saudi Arabia came across this critter who randomly showed up. Both the men were quite scared that they started praying for their safety and kept moving forward to capture a glimpse of it on the camera. They saw a pair of glowing eyes and a dark figure staring at them from the bushes. After gathering sufficient evidence, both decided to get out of Dodge before things could get any worse. Skinwalker ambush. Hiking through the woods of Florida soon turned into a nightmarish memory when this man felt like something was chasing him through the tracks. He soon heard a car pass by on the road and yelled for help, but at this point, the unknown creature was too close. The hiker started running for his life, and just as he tripped from a branch, the creature was revealed to him. It looked nothing like any normal being. Its pale skin and eerie structure made it look like a real-life skinwalker. No. Luckily, he had made it to the car on time, but was forever scared with the haunting memory.
Hurry up, come on!
Stalker Skinwalker. A homeowner in the middle of the woods in Michigan had been hearing creepy noises for a really long time. Finally, in the week of August 2023, he got curious about what was making these sounds and installed multiple trail cameras in the area. After having his trail camera recording for a while, he could not believe his eyes when he reviewed the footage. An unknown critter with glowing eyes came across, moving in an abnormal manner, and seemed as if it was staring right into his soul. Its creepy existence sent chills down his spine, as the man could not understand what it was. As soon as the video went viral, many claimed that it was a skinwalker stalking his house, and that he should relocate. Crawling cryptid.
What the fuck is that?
At this point, you'd probably realize that living close to the woods is a bad idea. The people living in this area had been hearing several noises around their house, and naturally thought that it was the wildlife inhabiting the area.
I'm home alone and I'm hearing somebody screaming in my house.
One night, the woman was home alone and decided to confront whatever it was once and for all, as it started to get closer and more aggressive.
What, man? What's going on?
As soon as she turned her lights off, the creature started moving through the bushes. And at this moment, she knew it was unlike any normal being, and her fears became reality when it finally revealed itself as the creature lunged out of its hiding.
What the fuck is that?
It really looked like a cryptid because of its appearance, but nothing could be known about what happened afterwards. Followed by cryptid. A group of friends gathered a whole bunch of fireworks to enjoy in the woods and were ready to light up the sky. But their adventures turned into a nightmare when strange noises from the darkness were only getting louder. Within moments, they noticed this pale, white figure that surprised them and was heading straight to them with a sinister intent. It even tried to drag them into the darkness, but they all made it out alive as they ran from the scene. Judging by its slender body and the white skin, many have concluded that they might have encountered a Skinwalker. Secret experiment. After hearing rumors about a hidden prison of aliens in the woods, a curious man decided to go check the place by himself.
They got this really weird creature caged up. It looks like some sort of deformed human.
Just as he started getting close to the area, the screeching sounds got louder and louder, increasing his fear that the rumors might be true. And once he stepped in, he saw an extraterrestrial being locked up in the cage. Even though he was advised not to take out any cameras, he still recorded the whole scene, and this agitated the creature. Just as soon as this video went viral, many people started talking about the existence of aliens and secret experiments conducted by undercover agencies, hidden by the streets. The looks and the intelligence of this being narrowed down its possibility of it either being a big black bear or a werewolf. A man was driving home after a long day at work in April 2016 and decided to take a scenic route through the jungle until things took a scary turn when he, along with his friends, encountered this troubling-looking entity that suddenly came out of the bushes by the roadside. Now, what actually made it look quite intimidating was that its huge size made it even more terrifying looking, where fear had completely engulfed their mind, and no one was able to react. The video ended abruptly, but the creature can be seen standing on two legs in the end. The group of friends who filmed the video were persistent that they had encountered a werewolf. Landed alien. Camping in the woods of Brazil at night got a lot creepier for one of the campers when he saw something move in the dense bushes. For the safety of his comrades, as well as his curiosity, he was compelled to investigate what was lurking among trees. Initially, he was expecting it to be some kind of wild animal until he saw this alien figure moving through the woods. It almost seemed like this alien wanted to be seen, and the camper felt as if it wanted to lure him into some kind of trap. Being concerned for the safety of his own and other campers, the recorder didn't take the bait. Sparkling eyes.
We should
After a long day of driving through the mountains, these two men set camp and were singing songs to enjoy the night. But their serene night was disturbed by a pair of glowing eyes. At first, they thought that it was some person playing a prank on them, but once its body was illuminated, they were sure it was not something normal. Both of them ran back to their car and were shivering with fear of the unknown. Could it be an actual Mothman or just another hoax? What do you think? Possessed rooftop figure. One eerie night in a bustling market somewhere in India, bystanders noting this very unusual figure that looked to be ghostly. It had pale skin and moved in an unhuman-like manner over the roof. As the people started gathering around to investigate, this entity attempted to use the darkness to try and hide. Apart from its skinny figure, its glowing eyes haunted every bystander. Some people on site were courageous enough to stay and film it before it vanished into the dark abyss within seconds, leaving everyone questioning what they just saw. Bigfoot sighting. A group of hikers had been exploring dense forests in an unknown location and suddenly heard loud footsteps nearby. As curiosity took the best of them, they went further, tracking through the footsteps made by the alleged Bigfoot, only to actually come across one. Its unusually tall height and giant stature has made many believe it was real. And it was not the only sighting. A camera that they were holding captured its horrifying existence. The giant was roaming the woods, seemingly about its routine. Its reality is still debated by many, but the hikers who saw it classified it to be nothing but a Bigfoot. Stalking in backyard.
What is that?
These children were enjoying their day in the backyard, playing just like any normal day in the presence of a guardian, until something far unexpected appeared.
What is that?
A teenage girl was babysitting 2 kindergarten children and recording them when she spotted a pale and unearthly being that was not only stalking the kids from the bushes, but also trying to close in.
What is that?
Just as they heard someone walking in the area, the kids spotted the mind-blowing creature and ran for their lives. Even if it was just someone pranking them, it indeed was very horrifying. Enough where even the bravest kid would have been terrified. Alien invasion. A remote home situated in the dense forest became a target of an alien creature. Just as this little girl and her brother heard someone enter their house, they knew they were not safe, as they had known about the haunting tales of the forest. Both of them rushed to check who had broken into their house, and soon it was revealed that this alien creature was the culprit. Its dark, empty eyes and alien looks took their breath away, and they both ran for their lives, never to see it again. Strolling through woods. Some people are so scared of wild animals in the dark. Until something like this gets caught on camera. Trail camera footage surfaced in October 2023, showing this odd-looking critter crawling through the woods, almost in a manner that it didn't make much sound. The man who installed the camera mentioned that he had heard several haunting stories of the woods, to which he first didn't believe, until he saw this one through his own trail camera's footage. Even though there still remains a great deal of people who have their doubts about the actual existence, the owner of this footage is certainly convinced. Stalking from bushes.
Oh my god!
Fear completely engulfed a camper as he heard strange noises coming from the dark void of the dense forest. He knew that it was not an ordinary animal. Just to see what it was, the camper ventured into the forest and started following the sound. But what he saw did not make any sense. As his flashlight illuminated the area, an unknown critter revealed itself and made this sound before completely vanishing.
Oh my god!
No one could completely understand what this thing could be, but it was clear that it was not some normal human or animal.
Oh my god!
Eyes of the darkness. The dark depths of forests in Russia are inhabited by the most elusive and mysterious critters, and one such animal was caught on a trail cam. The huge glowing eyes are unlike any normal animal, as they are a lot more pointed and glow brighter than any other. As soon as the video went viral, people came up with different explanations, some calling it a werewolf or alpha wolf, while others claiming it to be a hoax. But the reality of these eyes was never revealed. Heavy breathing stalker.
Oh God, can you see that?
A woman whose car broke down in the midst of the wilderness of Montana felt like she was being watched while strolling through the area. Her feeling only intensified when she heard a strange something that looked to be breathing heavily. And a partial scream that echoed through the trees. As the lone woman got closer to the bushes to investigate, it started to make hissing sounds. Something was definitely hiding in the area. And after a short while, it actually revealed itself. A pair of glowing eyes emerged from the bushes with an unusual humanoid structure, and she dashed back to her car for safety.
Oh God, can you see that?
Haunted bridge. A bridge situated near an unknown forest area was used by something different from the usual cars and humans that crossed over it in the daily routine. The people in the area noticed someone moving under the bridge and could not understand why someone would do such a thing. Although its face or any features were not visible, the inhuman gait was enough for everyone to understand that it was something out of the ordinary. Dark road. Here's another haunted road that spooked the people driving over it. A lone man was driving home from a dark road in March 2015 and had a creepy encounter with an unknown critter as it dashed on the road in front of the car. It had pale white skin and seemingly a featureless face. The driver had no idea what it was and posted it online to see what people had to say. Some speculated that it was a Skinwalker, while others said that it could be someone pranking others. But can a normal person run that fast? Comment what you think. Inh House. Living in a cabin by the forest area became the biggest mistake for these homeowners when they started hearing odd noises from the dark abyss. One night, as the family was sitting in their backyard while enjoying their time together, a creepy critter decided to join them. The odd thing was that it was visible to only one of the people on the scene and in the camera. He could be heard calling the creature a toyol, an undead infant in Indonesian and Malay folklore. The creature then lunged towards the cameraman and kept roaming around the kids. Many called the video scripted, but the cameraman insisted that they were actually surrounded by the mythical creature. Real life goblin. We all have heard of goblins from mythical tales and fantasy movies, but what if I told you that there was a possibility of them existing in real life? This video was filmed in an unknown location covered with dense forests. The hiker had heard about these critters living in the area, but was shocked to actually see and film on his own. Many who saw the video did not believe it and thought that it was edited. The man who filmed it was sure that he had seen a real-life goblin. Real-life Pixie. A group of friends that were camping noticed this tiny little being that was curiously strolling around their tent. To make their encounter believable, they used a high-definition camera to capture its actual existence once it closed in. It had a greenish and slender body. Plus, the unique features made it clear that it was unlike the unusual animals we all knew. Excited as to what would be a reaction of the general masses, they posted the video online. Live stream. A news channel visited a small town in Peru to cover the aftermath of a natural disaster and caught something far more disturbing on her camera. During the live transmission, she walked straight into an abandoned building, and just as the camera was turned, it captured a mysterious critter emerging from the murky waters. Its inhuman structure and eerie presence made it clear that it was nothing from the ordinary world. The reporter did not notice this abnormality on site, but was shocked when she reviewed the footage and could not understand what had come just inches away from her. Unknown critter. A man was having a serene walk through Florida's Apalachicola forest as he enjoyed the fresh air and lush green trees. But his calming experience came to an end when he accidentally stumbled across a tiny creature that was peeking at him from the bushes. Its huge glowing eyes to comparatively smaller head were unlike anything he had seen before during his adventures. Could it be an elf or something far more dangerous? Or just an ordinary animal perfectly camouflaged in the darkness? I guess we'll never know. Wolfman. A hunter in remote forests of Brazil was resting in his vehicle until he heard someone or something outside his camp. In fear of his safety, he decided to check it out from a distance. With the help of his powerful spotlight, he pointed towards the tall grass, which was also the source of the sound. It neither looked like a human nor a proper wolf, but a hybrid. And this so-called Wolfman appeared, leaving the hunter terrified. He could not help himself but flee the area. Eerie Drive. A couple was driving back home and took a deserted road, thinking it might be a shortcut. Everything was fine until they came across a slender, pale-looking man sitting on the side of the road among the bushes. They thought that it could be a person who needed help, so the man went back again, but this time it had vanished. Now they knew that it could not be a normal being, as it was impossible to move away at such speeds. Many who saw the video said that the couple was lucky to survive one of the closest encounters with a rake. Hidden critter.
Yeah.
This footage is from back in April 2013, showing a couple's dog that randomly started barking at something while looking in the darkness. And eventually ran off in the area. At a point of getting closer, they were in complete shock once they started hearing odd sound. The dog was safe from any imminent reaction, but their flashlight started malfunctioning, and this unknown creature made its appearance from behind the cover.
Yeah.
It looked to be an otherworldly being that they only happened to get a glimpse of on their camera. Its uncanny appearance made it clear that it was not any known animal. Crawler in backyard. A homeowner looked outside his window and saw this unhuman-like crawler that was staring at him from outside his kitchen window. It had a hairless body, and its features could not be seen clearly. The man knocked on his window just to see how it responded.
Yeah.
That's when the creature knew it was spotted and immediately vanished in the forest where it belonged, leaving the homeowner shivering in fear as he wondered what else could possibly be roaming in the dark depths. Walking skeleton. Here's another group of curious people who found an abandoned building in the Glentris Forest and decided to check it out. As they moved through the building, nothing out of the ordinary made its appearance. But once they got to the roof and started filming the forest, they saw something moving through the dense trees. It was hunched down in an inhuman way and had a startling grayish-white skin, perfectly fitting the description for another possible Skinwalker. They all ran away from the scene immediately and later learned that indescribable things had been spotted in the area before. Pipeline inspection. In June 2018, a team of maintenance workers went out to check why their machines were not working properly after a sudden blackout, and as they got closer to the scene, they started sensing an odd stench. Just as they got close to the pipelines, this thing emerged from the darkness. Its odd structure, uncanny appearance, and the pale skin made them all scared to their core. No one could understand what they had encountered, but they were pretty sure that it had cut out the power to lure them into a trap where it could easily harm them. Luckily, they all made it back safely. Call for demise.
And
imagine coming out to your yard and you hear these sounds coming from the forest nearby. These sounds are already giving me nightmares. The creepy encounter was made in Scotland by a man who was staying at his friend's house and was horrified as he heard these sounds.
And
although he felt safe because of the fence, he could not see who was making them because of the dark. The next day, when he and his friend viewed their trail camera footage installed in that area, they were shocked at what they saw. This ghostly figure in human form that had been roaming near their house, and most probably, the horrid sounds were made by it. Canadian woods. Living near the Canadian woods turned into a horrifying experience when a homeowner woke up to these sounds echoing all over the place. Naturally, they thought that these were made by some animal, but they all had the shock of a lifetime when this footage of an unusual man was released, spotted roaming near their area. Its hairy skin, grand size, and the mysterious location made everyone believe that they heard the voice of a Bigfoot, while some thought that it could be a misunderstanding. Demon from hell. A band of friends who had the idea of hanging out late at night by a forested road in an undisclosed location when they started to hear these strange noises from the dark. It sounded like someone was laughing, but the strange thing is, why would someone be there at that hour? They all ventured into the woods to see what was going on. Soon, they saw this demonic entity staring right into their souls. Just look at that creepy smile. No wonder those laughs were coming from this creature. The boys immediately ran away from the area and were forever haunted by what they saw. Goblin Stampede. Homeowners living near the Aughnashelle Forest, Scotland, were accustomed to hearing various animals pass by their house. But one day, their CCTV camera captured something far different from their expectations. These odd-looking creatures were seen stampeding near the fence around the backyard, and according to the video, they were even smaller than the safety railing. Some of them even jumped over and immediately turned to dust. This video is still under debate among the masses, and so far, there are more questions than answers regarding it. Peeking from trees. A farmer had been losing his livestock for quite a long time and eventually decided to check what was harming his animals. He took a flashlight and a camera and ventured into the forest to fix the problem, but what he found out was far from his expectations. Unrecognizable entity that was sitting among the branches, as if it was waiting for him to get into a blind spot. The man immediately ran back to safety with cold feet and had no idea what he had seen in the dark depths. Many of his fellow farmers claimed that it was a chupacabra or a wendigo, and that he must change his location for safety. Shy Wendigo. A team of explorers came across this abandoned building in May 2004 while roaming a remote part of an unknown forest, and to their surprise, they were not there alone. Someone was watching them from the corner. As they moved further in the area, a figure peeked out from the door. The men thought that someone was playing a prank on them and tried to chase them. Yet when they moved in the room, the creature was gone. They knew it was now time to leave the area, as whatever was stalking them was clearly not human. Many viewers believe that they had encountered a spirit that used to live in the building. Lurking in shadows. Buying a house near the deep forest became the biggest mistake when a homeowner started hearing mysterious calls from the dark. At first, he thought it was just animals at night, but one day the screams got creepier and louder.
That's no dog.
So he went out to check what it was, and what he saw was simply mind-boggling. A humanoid creature was peeking from behind a tree with glowing eyes. It stared right into his soul, and the man knew it was time to run from the woods and never looked back. But he never understood what could be stalking him. Could it be a skinwalker or a mischievous prank from a friend? What do you think? Headless Crypted. CCTV footage showed two dogs barking at something lurking among the trees, but no one could understand the reason for their unrest. Could they be barking for a specific reason, or just dogs being dogs? Soon, the culprit emerged at the scene as a headless cryptid started running on the street in a disturbing way. The dogs kept following this weird creature until it was out of sight. But no one could understand what was roaming in the streets in the dark night. Road crossing. If you didn't believe in ghosts before, you surely will after watching this video. A CCTV camera installed near a dark road captured this unexplainable scene when a dark figure started crossing the road without any fear of the cars. Surprisingly, it was not even affected by them, as they all passed right through the figure. Now, what explanation could there be other than this being a ghost? Condemned Trail. This man heard crying voices from his backyard and thought that someone might need help, so he rushed in the dark forest to see who it was. As he got to the middle, he realized that the voices stopped immediately, and just as he was confused in the moment, a humanoid pale face emerged from behind the tree.
Oh shit!
Although it peeked out only a split second, it was enough to scare the man to his core.
Oh shit!
When he came home and zoomed in the footage, it became clear that he had encountered an extra-dimensional spirit that did not resemble anything that he had ever seen before. Mistful Forest Dweller. A normal stroll through the woods took an unexpected turn when the person encountered this unusual scene among the trees. The calm lake and the serene scene became a nightmare when this strange white apparition came to the scene. Its nature looked to be that of a cloud of sorts that was partially taking the shape of a person. The person filming the video described that he felt an odd unease in the area and could not understand what was moving through the dense forest. Eventually, the figure moved towards a dark cave, never to be seen again. Dark creature. A father and his son were camping in the woods of Florida and took thermal cameras with them in hopes to capture something fun. But what they saw was a lot more than what they had expected. They first heard rustling voices around the campsite and got excited that there might be a deer in the area.
We would hear something running on our right, and then we would hear something running on our left.
As soon as they pointed their cameras towards the noise, they captured a tall and dark humanoid figure moving through the woods.
And then Dad looked up at up there at the tree, and he's like, oh, I see something.
The odd part was that whoever it was, it had no flashlight in the pitch darkness, and the thermal camera did not catch any clothing on them. The footage was even reviewed by experts, and they could not understand what the creature was.
I visited with him. I have no reason to suspect that he contrived this.
Elusive Bigfoot. A trail camera was installed in the snowy forest to capture the beautiful wildlife in the area, but instead, it had a surprise for its owner when he saw an unknown creature strolling among the trees. It had dark brown hair, and although the features were not clearly visible, it still had a horror in its presence. The mysterious part is that it moved in a very human way, but had no resemblance to a normal person. According to many viewers, the creature closely resembled the legendary Bigfoot, but its true identity was never known. Uneasy nights. A family had been experiencing unexplainable activities around their house. They felt like being watched, and sometimes even heard voices from the dense woods. After getting sick of the disturbances, they decided to install cameras to capture the culprit invading their privacy, and saw this critter peeking in from one of the windows. Its glowing eyes and dark existence was a clear sign that it was not a person or some animal from the wild. Even though the creature simply observed the family, it was still super creepy to know that things like this existed nearby. It's time for today's open discussion. A group of wildlife explorers were roaming the forests somewhere in India on April 23rd, 2014, just to find some animals. But they got to experience something more than what they bargained for. As they ventured into the darkness, their flashlights revealed an unusual animal running in the background. They didn't notice anything before, but when they heard the creature, they tried chasing it instead of running away. But it had already fled from the scene. Luckily, their cameras had already captured this old-looking thing that they had come across that left everyone questioning the nature and possibility of its existence. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Your support means the world to us. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, the adventure doesn't end here. Stay curious, stay inspired, and we'll catch you in the next video.